Hello and welcome to Fantasy Premier League, the D Unit's journey. You are here for early doors for Game Week 19. Yes, that is correct. We are still in the middle of Game Week 18, but Game Week 19 is literally just around the corner. It is on Sunday, the deadline there. So without further ado, let's get into what we've learned. There's been 8 games already played in Game Week 18, and there's been so much to consider that, this video is exceptionally relevant. So without further ado, let's get into it. Make sure you like the video, subscribe if you're new, and the Saka conundrum. Where else to start? But for most owners, it hasn't gone well. Look, I bought him Phil Foden, backed it in, and he was exceptionally unlucky. 0.61 expected goal involvement, and the dude got nothing. I mean, the problem was that Haaland literally can't finish at the moment. He was god ordinary, and I actually don't know where you go. If you're a Haaland owner right now, the next 4 fixtures look so good on paper, but he's just not there. He's legit not there. It's got to the point now where he just has to be. I don't think he's purchasable again this season. That's how bad he has been playing. It has been bad, and yeah, unfortunately, Foden was the kind of victim of that. He also set up Bernardo Silva, who probably should have scored. And look, Foden played that well that even though he got a yellow card, which brought him down to 1 point, he got 1 bonus point, which says just how well Phil Foden played and how much the rest of the team that he had weren't playing well at all. And that's kind of scary. I mean, like, Leicester actually were pretty plucky against Liverpool later on in the day, but I just can't see them containing City. But the way City are playing, I've got no confidence in it. But I did back Foden in, and look, realistically, I've got to back him in the next 2 fixtures, Leicester and West Ham. It's a 3-week punt at the minimum, and hopefully he returns. And if he does, then it's definitely a 5-week play. But I've got no confidence after today. But look, most people went like to Maddison, to Kulusevski. Maddison started on the bench, and I don't even know if he came on. Kulusevski blanked. Tottenham lost 1-0. Their run of form is just as bad as Manchester United's. Let's not even talk about them. I'm wearing the shirt, but like, I watched that game and it was hard work. We'll get on to that in a second. So Bruno Fernandes, another popular option in, and he obviously blanked, got yellow carded. Then he decided to start the second half, get a second yellow card, sent off, -2. I've got Bruno on my team. It's safe to say I was not overly impressed with what I saw. A lot of people bought Ismaila Sarr in, Enzo Fernandez, Morgan Rogers. They all blanked. It was like one of them weird weeks on Boxing Day where there weren't actually that many goals. Like, I don't know if it's going to change in the Brighton-Brentford game tomorrow or the Arsenal-Ipswich. You'd think it would, but the way the fixtures have gone so far this weekend, there's no guarantee that Odegaard or Martinelli, I don't even know if anyone would have bought any Brighton players in, or Mbeumo are going to score. So, like, it's just one of them ones. You just got to hold faith of the decision that you made and just roll with it. Now, obviously, if you do have Bruno Fernandes, it's a big problem. Like for me, I sat there. He's going to miss, obviously, this coming game week against Newcastle on Monday night, which is game week 19. He's then got Liverpool up next in game week 20. Like, Liverpool haven't been defending well. They conceded against Leicester, conceded 2 against Fulham, 3 against Tottenham. I just don't know where to go. Like, part of me is like, you hold him, hopefully he gets better, but there's no standout option, which is why I haven't moved him on. In fact, the one standout option has been Anthony Gordon, and we'll get into him a little bit later, but he scored a wonder goal here. Newcastle looked good, and I'm actually scared for Man United on Monday night. When I go and watch him at Old Trafford, I feel like Newcastle could do us in. No problems at all. Clean sheets for the budget options were back in place. So obviously Crystal Palace and Bournemouth, that game was 0-0, which was fantastic. I was playing Kirkes. Loved that. Newcastle obviously kept the clean sheet as well. So Hull kept another 6 points. So I had 12 points from my budget defenders. And then lots of people who invested the Saka money in Trent Alexander-Arnold were greeted with a 2, like another blank for Trent Alexander-Arnold. Alisson, obviously, I bought him in for Verbruggen, and in reality, I was going to play Fabianski instead. Unfortunately, Fabianski has been injured. He definitely was knocked out. He got taken to hospital. He got stretchered off the field. I would think that he's likely to be out for at least the next 2 weeks. So Alisson's definitely going to be playing, but I'm not sold on the Liverpool defence. That's pretty much where it comes down to at the end of the day. So clean sheets, they're still not there. Like, Fulham, Chelsea, no clean sheets. Fulham shock result there, by the way, FYI. Everton, Man City, both conceded. Clean sheets are just so hard to predict this season. Wolves kept the clean sheet. If you kept Aït-Nouri, this was the week to play him. He kept the clean sheet, got 6 points against Man United. It's just infuriating. Like, this is FPL, right? So, look, clean sheets, who knows? Captaincy call on Salah looked horrible for most of the game, and then he bobs up, scores a goal, and gets 2 bonus points again. Are you kidding me? So he ended up with 9 points. Lovely, double to 18. Palmer beat him by 1 point, but other than that, it's hard to not recommend Salah as a permanent captain at this point. And like looking ahead to the next game week, I don't think anyone's going to be backing him in not to score a goal against West Ham. Like, West Ham looked horrible against Southampton for most of that first half. How they walked away with a 1-0 win is beyond me. Like, legit is actually beyond me. So yeah, I'm not sure about that one at all. But yeah, captaincy call, I think it's Salah from here on in until he does something that makes you think probably not to go there. But that's probably likely to be an injury at this point because this dude is in some sort of form that I don't even know what to say about him anymore. I've run out of words. So what do you do on the short amount of time between game week 18 and game week 19? Well, I'm in that predicament where I've said I've got Bruno Fernandes, got Jao Pedro. I don't know how Jao Pedro goes against Brentford. Maybe he scores and it's less of a problem and I just move Bruno Fernandes on. But like, part of me wants to keep Bruno because I feel like eventually he's going to start ticking over and it'll look good. But I suppose the worst thing for me is that I've had Bruno and Ahmad the last 2 weeks, double Man United attack. I've played them both 2 game weeks and they're both, in fairness, look pretty damn average in terms of actually delivering me some points. I mean, today, Man United's tactics were give the ball to Ahmad, hope something happened. Nothing happened. So, yeah, I suppose without further ado, it is time now to look at my team and figure out what exactly I'm going to do because I actually don't know what I'm going to do. So, flick it over here and we have 54 points for the game week so far. So, not horrible. In theory, it says I'm actually on a slightly green arrow. It's actually incorrect. So I'll flick it over here to Fantasy Football Hub. I am down by 856 teams at the moment. So still top 20,000. That's likely to change tomorrow. I mean, so many people are rocking Arsenal defense double up. Martinelli, Jesus, Odegaard. I'm expecting that to drop. Unless, obviously, Arsenal lose like 1-0. That's going to go down further. Like, I'm being realistic. I'm expecting it to be still within inside like the top 30,000 teams, like because I am still covering the Arsenal defense, but it's not looking flash. It's not looking flash. So look, the number one problem I've got, Bruno Fernandes -2. This is an issue. He's obviously got Newcastle next, which he is going to miss, and then he's got Liverpool in game week 20. And like if you are rocking Ahmad and Bruno like I am, I hate to say, but he's almost a sell. But look, the problem is I don't actually know who to recommend to sell him for. So Maddison obviously started on the bench. Luis Diaz started on the bench, never came on for Liverpool. Jota started on the bench, came on. Son did nothing for Tottenham. Kulusevski did nothing for Tottenham. Like there's no standout option that is around that price point except Anthony Gordon. Now, if we have a look at Anthony Gordon, let's go to the transfers tab here and work out whether he's actually worth it. Now, he looks like he's going to rise in price probably tonight, probably overnight. He wasn't forecast to rise, but he may have risen overnight. I'll double check in a second. But he's on 7.2 mil. And, you know, the last 3 weeks he's got 2 assists and a goal. He obviously got the 10 points against Aston Villa. Against Man United and Spurs, you're not concerned. Like Newcastle were going to score goals. We saw against Villa, Isaac scored, Gordon scored. It's looking lovely, all roses and stuff. But realistically, is it a place you want to go? I'm not 100% sure. And the problem is I've got to see the Arsenal games in order to work out whether it's better to go with an Arsenal attacker or to like back in like a Newcastle attacker. Because in reality, at the moment, it's too hard to gauge either way. And look, Foden was desperately unlucky, and I'm definitely holding him the next couple of weeks. He's got Leicester up next, obviously. Today he had 0.85 expected goal involvement. It's actually gone up. So 0.71 expected assists, 0.14. This dude kept laying on a platter for his teammates. Guardiola hit the post, the crossbar. Bernardo Silva went for like this cheeky outside of the foot finish, no good. And Haaland just was not at the races at all. I feel like on another day, if his players were on the same wavelength, actually shooting well, Foden would have returned and it would have looked like a really good pick. It just wasn't to be in this particular game. But Leicester up next and then West Ham, I'm not overly concerned with the next two fixtures. I feel like West Ham coming to Man City, they're likely to concede the way that they've been playing. They've obviously got some injuries as well. Kilman did his hamstring and Fabianski went off. And Leicester away, I'm not overly concerned with. Like Ruben Nistelrooy set him up well against Liverpool. I felt like Liverpool were pretty poor defensively in the first half. I just feel like City could exploit those next two fixtures, so I'm not looking to like move that on. Obviously, I'm still looking at Jao Pedro, moving him on, but at the moment, Chris Wood and Solanke both blanked in the Nottingham Forest Tottenham game. Valenson was benched. Raul Jimenez did nothing. Muniz came on and scored for Tottenham, for Fulham. Jackson blanked. Like there's no standout forward option. So like in my head, I'm like going, do I just roll it and just hope that Jao Pedro does something against Aston Villa? Like, I mean, he could. Aston Villa are not defending well. I think the saving grace here in my team is that Robinson, yeah, he blanked, but like he's obviously got a really nice run of fixtures coming up. So Bournemouth at home, Ipswich at home, West Ham away, Leicester away. That's a really good block of 4 fixtures for Fulham. Hall obviously has continued hauling. He was unlucky. He actually had 2 bonus points up until really late in this game when the third goal went in, and then obviously it changed. So that was unfortunate because that would have been an extra 2 points. So like, I'm not unhappy with him. Colwill was again disappointing. He had the assist this week. I don't even know how this guy had an assist, but he almost scored as well, which was quite incredible in and of itself. Chelsea just don't keep clean sheets, and that's concerning. Like Ipswich away, I feel like they could potentially concede there. I feel like they'll win the game, but it's just disappointing. And then obviously Mo Salah continued on his way. Cole Palmer was good again. Kirkes was good, another clean sheet. Like that's 2 clean sheets on the bounce against Man United and Crystal Palace. There's nothing to say they won't get one against Fulham. I mean, ideally they blank and it's a 0-0 draw and Robinson and Kirkes both return for me because I'm likely to play them both in gameweek 19. And then he's obviously got Everton up at home after that. Like, and then it's like, it kind of runs out for Bournemouth after that. So I'm like, kind of just keep riding on that till it goes in or have to make a decision. But yeah, so like obviously Fabianski, I can't rotate him anymore. And Alisson Becker, I'm going to be hoping that like Liverpool keep clean sheets. But like I'm in that case where a lot of people either have Van Dijk or Trent. They're not doubling up on the Liverpool defence. I feel like I've got it covered and I've got the cheapest one that's going to be playing every week. So for me, I'm not overly concerned about that. And like the budget options have shown so far this week that they can match it with the big guns. Unless Gabriel scores a goal or something like that, the budget options have been more than enough for me. I've obviously had 12 points from the 2 of them so far, and I've got Timber to play in the defence. So those are things you just got to factor in, take care of. Looking ahead to next week, I'm not sure whether there's too much you need to be changing. Look, the Arsenal game could be interesting in terms of maybe I'll make my transfer on Jao Pedro and bring in Gabriel Jesus if he like pops off for Arsenal. Or it might even be like a Kai Havertz and I take a -4 and get rid of Bruno. Or it might be Bruno to Odegaard. It really depends on how well Arsenal play against Ipswich. But the problem with the Arsenal assets is we'll look here for Timber. After Ipswich, they've obviously got Brentford away. I think that's not a red fixture. But then they've got Brighton away and Spurs at home. I'm not overly... And then Villa at home. I don't feel like they're going to score a lot of goals against these teams. Like I feel like the Ipswich game is next. I don't know if I really want an Arsenal attacker after that. So it's one of them weird ones where I legit don't know where to go. I think I'm literally going to have to wait till my differential video later today when it comes out. It'll be out today. I'm hopefully going to do a double upload. I've done this one straight after the games on the end of Boxing Day, which is Thursday night. This will be out by Friday morning, and then obviously I'll do the differentials later today, and maybe I'll go with one of them because obviously I went with Foden, who was a massive differential. Didn't pay off this week. I mean, the fact that he got a bonus point when he got a yellow card suggests that he was desperately unlucky. And I feel like moving forward, that is something that I'm willing to roll with, at least in the short term, because there's no other really good options. And I feel like I'm likely to hold Bruno at this stage because I feel like the other options, the other assets just aren't there. Like the minutes aren't there. The consistency's not there. And like Bruno's going to miss one game because obviously the red card earlier in the season got rescinded. So I think that's probably what I'll do. But like, it's just going to be annoying. Like Manchester United not playing well. And it concerns me that two of my midfield, like one of them always has to play every week. And like Jao Pedro is a problem. So moving forward, that's definitely what I'm going to be doing. So like, look, let me know how you're going at the moment. Are you got on a green arrow? Have you had a really amazing week? Obviously I am on 54 points, which is not horrible, but it's not amazing. It's like miles above the average. I'm expecting it to stay above the average, but in terms of my safety score for the rank that I'm at, it's not going to cut the mustard. I am going to be on a down arrow this week, and hopefully it's not too bad. But by the time I do the differential video, I wouldn't have done it anyway. But when I do the transfer tips and wildcard draft for this game week, I will know what I got. I'm just hoping it's not as bad as what it could be. But look, I am dependent on Jao Pedro. Realistically, I want Brighton to lose and Arsenal to draw 1-1 or something like that. Yeah, or lose 1-1, lose 1-0. But yeah, let me know what you think. Press subscribe if you're new. Press the like button. I'll be back later today for a differentials video. That's been the D Unit. Thanks for watching.